Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. Today is another Testimony Tuesday coming right to you wherever you are in the world. And today we're going to be having two guests, a couple of an amazing, fierce couple on the line with us here at Plant-Based Made Easy to share their own Plant-Based Made Easy testimony, to talk about how and why they went plant-based. And I know it is going to inspire you. So if this is the first time that you're joining us, I want to say hello and welcome. And I want you to get comfortable, enjoy yourself as you're here. Please know that my kitchen is your kitchen. So if you have any questions along the way, you can type them in the comment box. And I would love to chat with you as we engage today with our guests, Tammy and Derek Scott. So without further ado, I'm going to bring them on the line and let's give them a warm welcome. Hi, Derek, and hi, Tammy. How are you?
Hello, Facebook family.
Good to see you. Good to have you. It's so fun to be connected to you guys because I just want to tell people how we know each other. Derek and Tammy are good friends with Kai Bravo, who came on and did her testimony a couple Tuesdays before this. And she was awesome. And she said, you know what? I have some friends that need to come on and share their story. So I'm really glad to have you. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, you guys have a really cool story too. Well, first of all, Tammy was the one who emailed me. Both of you guys emailed me, but Tammy said, do you want both of us on to talk about our journey as a couple going plant-based and this experience together? And I said, yes, we've never done this with a married couple. So it's good to have you guys because it's going to be so interesting to hear how it all went. And just so I can explain to the viewers, if you guys have questions for them, please put it in the comment box and I will relay that to them. But you guys, let's get it kicked off right away because I know people are just really excited to hear your story. This is a question for both of you. Well, Tammy, maybe you can answer first and then Derek, you can go. Okay, so I want to know why did you each choose to go plant-based?
Okay, so my journey started many, many years ago. Of course, oftentimes, it happens when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and usually something happens in your health, and that's what happened many, many years ago. I was facing heartburn and for the first time in my life, anxiety that I didn't really quite sympathize with because I had never experienced it. And long story short, what I discovered is that my minerals, vitamins, and I'm usually very, very on top of it, but it gets away from everybody, life and busyness. And my minerals and vitamins were off. And that's when I got introduced to Kai and her way of living, Kai Bravo, Kai's Garden, Salad Master as a means of how to use the right kind of cookware so that I could keep as much integrity of getting heavy metals out of my body as possible. And then having an amazing natural nutritionist who is muscle testing and very, very brilliant to minerals. So once she explained to me why I was having anxiety about having anxiety and that it was simply a mineral deficiency, and the present situation was the heartburn. It was debilitating almost. And what I discovered for me is that I needed to have a more vegetarian, vegan lifestyle. I didn't realize how much dairy, meat, and chemicals were actually contributing to the heartburn. And heartburn is like one of the huge diagnoses. GERD, reflux, is something people suffer from so much. It's one of the top drugs on the market. And what I discovered in my own knowing my body is that they had put me on a PPI drug that was dealing with the symptom of the heartburn, but then it was causing osteopenia. And what I discovered is that those drugs leach out the calcium from your bones. So yes, it helps you with the GERD, which is an issue, but then it creates your stomach acid to be really off, and it depletes your calcium from your bones. So I discovered that after letting these folks keep me on a drug for 12 years. I'm a little bit angry about that, but everything is all reversible. So the more in tune I got with what was causing the root of what was causing the heartburn, it's dairy, it's meat, it's chemicals, it's creamer from all that yucky stuff at the market. And once I got certain things out of my diet, And it took about 5 months of putting the minerals back, B's and D's and A's and K's, getting my pH well, doing a lot of fasting, and just really, really good mineral replacement. It was gone and not an issue. And it was so bizarre that I ended up in the ER, a little trip to the ER. I'm so healthy and running businesses and thriving. And I'm like, anxiety? I have a lovely life. What do you mean anxiety? There's nothing, I don't have any stress. What are you talking about? And that was my ignorance to anxiety. It's been able to give me a testimony to really help other women and people who suffer from anxiety, where you get anxious and not take the medicine that they just instantly wanted to put me on, anxiety medicine. And I'm like, I'm a zombie. This makes no sense. To my very core, I knew it wasn't right. And so being hooked up with the right people, it helped everything. And it took a little while for Derek to climb aboard.
A long while.
It took.
All right. Well, Derek, we want to hear your story. Why did you go plant-based? Go ahead and tell us that, please.
The main thing is I stepped on the scale, being in law enforcement for 26 years. I've been with weight, because you got fast, you hit a lot of drive-throughs. When you do sit down, you try to eat, and then you get calls, and so I've gone up and down in my weight, but I thought I was doing pretty good this last year. But I gained, I say the COVID-19, kind of like the freshman 15 for college, and so I stepped on the scale in October, and I was 224. And that had been the highest I'd been in a long time. I've been to 230 before. So that was the deal breaker right there. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I gained that much. And so for our anniversary, which is in November, Tammy wanted to get with Kai again, which we did on our 20th wedding anniversary. And I was adamant I didn't want to do a retreat on our 25th, but we did. And so since then, I'm now around 197 or so. So that, I like my weight between 195 and 200. I feel the healthiest. So
you feel the most comfortable. Yeah, good for you.
And then I do 80-20. The 20s, like, I don't know. I mean, I might once a month have something, because I felt like if I went in 100%, I would fail the minute I had when I was at work. So Kai kept talking about 80-20. And then I watched the Game Changers on Netflix, and I don't know, those two things this time. I mean, she's been telling me 80-20 for years because we've known her for a long time, but I just wasn't ready. I mean, I was like, no way, I can't do it, is what it came down to. I didn't think I could do it, but between the two of them, the foods they've made, like the food you're going to make today, it's actually really good. So because I'm eating food that I like and looks good, if there's something I know I don't like, we don't make it. And this way,
we don't make it.
Yeah, I don't cook at all. Just to be clear, I'm the I up and I do the dishes.
And he juices and he does our smoothies.
Yeah, I do the juices. So
it's a team.
All right. Well, hey, that's a contribution. That's a big deal in the plant-based living. Making the juices and the smoothies, that takes some time. You got to clean all that. You got to dice it all up. You got to blend it all up. Oh, I love it. I actually thought you guys were drinking wine. You're actually drinking green juice. Green juice. I love it. It's so cool.
It's pretty for me to love it.
Oh, I love that. No, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that story, you guys. I really appreciate kind of hearing both perspectives. It's really kind of good to hear it. All right, so I'm going to transition into the food for a second, and then we're going to come back to asking some questions, all right? So you guys are still with me, but I'm going to do a solo layout. You guys, I'm going to make today coconut bacon and tofu scramble. Now, this comes right from my cookbook. This is Plant-Based Made Easy, issue number 8. That's the cookbook we're working out of right now. But you can buy any of my cookbooks at any time. I have all the rest of them right here. You guys, and I write a new cookbook every single month. So this is a companion cookbook to the Plant-Based Made Easy show. And if you want a month-long resource to get you through the month, to help you experiment with going plant-based, to eating this way, and like Derek said, maybe you're going to do 80-20, maybe you're going to do 100% plant-based, maybe you're going to do 50-50, it's up to you. But this, my friends, is going to be a really good resource and such a great investment of your health. It is a super cheap investment, and it's really going to be less than $1 a day for every single recipe, because I'm going to give you recipes to get you through the entire month. These are breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, sweets, and staple recipes. And in every book, you're going to get different types of recipes done seasonally with the months and the season. So I always include a scramble recipe. I always include a sandwich. I always include a pasta, a taco recipe, a smoothie recipe, a pancake, and therefore it's a kind of the same sort of recipe matrix, but I'm switching out the flavors to match the season so we can eat seasonally, and we're going to feel our best doing that. So you guys, I'm going to get into making this coconut bacon and tofu scramble. First things first, I have to make some coconut bacon, and if you've never made coconut bacon, I'm going to show you what it's like. All right, so simple. Now I'm bringing Derek and Tammy on the line again. If you guys have questions, please let me know. You can actually just interrupt me. But here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to put the overhead in the middle. There we go, more pretty. All right, so I have some coconut here. This is unsweetened coconut, and I love this coconut. This actually comes from Melissa's Produce. They have actually sponsored Plant-Based Made Easy. Melissa's Produce is the produce sponsor here, and this is their dried coconut chips, which I really love. These are great for baking, but they're even better for making bacon. All right, so I'm going to use about 1/4 cup. I think I want a little bit more, and I'm not going to go through the exact quantities, but if you want the exact quantities, get this cookbook. You will love it, I'm telling you. All right, so the next thing that I want is a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of liquid smoke. So I'm going to use this here soy sauce. This is low sodium soy sauce I get from Trader Joe's. But you can also use coconut aminos if that's your jam. Coconut aminos is a sweeter version of soy sauce. It is gluten-free, and it has a sweeter taste because it actually comes from coconut sap. Both of these are going to be wonderful and really delicious. I'm going to opt in for the soy sauce because I don't have a gluten allergy, and I love the flavor. Just want a couple drizzles of that. And then I'm also going to use a little liquid smoke. All right, now this is all natural concentrated hickory liquid smoke. If you want this liquid smoke here, I have a link to it on my Amazon storefront. You can actually shop for all these ingredients as well as all of my cooking utensils and kitchenware and equipment. So I'm going to put the link of my Amazon storefront after the show on the comments so you can see it there. So just go ahead and mix this up. You really just kind of want to wet the coconut and really kind of let it soak up all that liquid smoke and soy. And now I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350 degrees, which I've already done. And I'm gonna just place all of this coconut down on a lined baking sheet. Now I'm using a baking liner, you guys. That's what this is. This is a cut your own size BPA-free baking liner. Again, this is on Amazon if you want from my storefront. But I love these little tips and tricks along the way. This baking liner is sustainable, meaning you can use it again and again. You don't need foil, which is bad for the environment, and you don't need paper, parchment paper, or anything like that. And it's very easy to clean. So that's it. I'm gonna pop this into the oven. And I really wanted to do like a really delicious kind of hearty recipe for you all today. That's why I'm doing coconut bacon and coconut scramble, because coconut bacon with a tofu scramble, because I knew, Derek, I knew you were going to be here, and I wanted to make something that was like macho for a police officer. Not that all police officers have to be macho, but you know what I mean? Like I really wanted this to be a hearty, delicious meal that even a man or a woman can enjoy, even a child. So that's that. Now let's talk about this here. This is tofu. Now I want you guys to use an 8-ounce block of your favorite tofu. I'm using sprouted organic tofu, and you can see this is what it looks like here. And it's really simple to use this. All I'm going to do is basically take it out of the box. Here's the brand that I'm using, but you can use any that you want. I'm going to just take a fork here, and I'm just going to crumble this. Tammy, do you ever make tofu scramble at home?
Yes, and my family loves it.
It's great, right?
The bacon part, so I'm all over that now.
Yeah, you just have to get this liquid smoke because I'm telling you, it's like it makes it delicious.
I totally am so excited to try that.
All right, and you know how easy this is. It's really, tofu is so soft that you can just kind of like crumble it up with a fork. And honestly, it already kind of starts to look like egg, and we haven't even done anything to it yet, right? Look, from far, far away, it looks like it.
It has to look like it. It just...
Right? It has to look like it for it to be like, you know, family approved. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come into a full screen here, solo layout, so that you can really kind of see my induction. I'm gonna get this on, and while I do this, what I wanna do is just heat my induction with a ceramic or a non-stick pan. And I'm gonna use this pan, which I really like. It's a small skillet. And to this, I'm gonna add just a little bit of butter. Actually, I'll use my big knife. I'm just gonna use like just less than a tablespoon or so. Now this is vegan butter, but you can use anything that you want. Do you guys use vegan butter at home, or are you more oil people?
Oil. I use avocado oil mostly for only because I haven't ventured out to vegan butter yet, because Derek was so butter. So the oil seems to taste the most like butter so far.
Yep. I love the Miyokos butter, which is what I'm using right here, and it's one of these really delicious products. I'm going to show you here in the overhead. This is Miyokos Creamery. This is cultured vegan butter. It is the only butter on the market that is vegan that can be called butter, because Miyokos, who's the maker of this, who lives in Sonoma County, she fought for wanting to get butter labeling her vegan butter as butter, because she believed it is just like the same thing. Although this is made from plants, and it's really wonderful, from cashews and from coconut. And you can see it melts really nicely, and even browns up really nicely, which I really like. Now, while this continues to melt, I'm just going to explain the flavor agents that we're going to use. Now, you can use garlic. You can use a little turmeric. You can use, I recommend chili powder, which is Trader Joe's organic seasoning blend, which I love. A little onion, leek, shallot, or onion salt, which I'll use. And instead of fresh garlic today, I'm going to use garlic powder because I think it's great, and a little bit of smoked paprika. So here's all my spices, and you can see them here as well. The last thing that I'm going to use is a little kala namak. Now, this is Himalayan black sea salt, or mineral salt, excuse me, Himalayan black mineral salt, and it is sulfur. So it actually smells and tastes like egg. And it has this beautiful pink color, but it's really delicious, and it gives you that really kind of nice eggy flavor. So I really love it, and that's something that you'll also want to get on Amazon. So you can see my butter is nice and brown. You guys see how delicious this is already? I'm going to add my tofu to my brown butter. I just really want you to see that. Take a look at this brown butter. It's speaking to us. Add the tofu scrambled right to this pan. And then I want you to immediately season this up. So I'm going to use a little bit of this black salt. Again, kala namak. Hala namak, depending on where you're from and how you say it. A little bit of that. Also going to use some turmeric. I'll say the spices again so that you can hear me as I'm saying it. Some chili. Chili powder is wonderful. Just for a little heat. A little bit of onion salt. Remember, we've already added the black salt, so we only need a little bit of this. This is going to give you that savory onion quality. And then garlic powder and smoked paprika. Now that smoked paprika is going to lend itself to the coconut bacon we're making, so that's why I really love it. And all of this is going to add a really beautiful color to your tofu scramble. All right, so I'm going to mix this up, and while I do, I want to hear from you guys. What are the benefits that you've seen since committing to going plant-based? And I'm going to bring you back up. Will you please share with us? I'd love, oopsie, hold on one second. There we go. Oops, hold on one second. Let's see. There we go. Will you guys share? What are the benefits that you guys have noticed? Anything? Tammy, I'm calling you Kai. You guys are so similar. Tammy, you've shared some of them with me. Derek, I'm wondering if you have seen any bodily benefits to your health.
Dryness of skin so far seems to help. My elbows aren't as dry as I don't know if I feel like it's this, because that's the only thing, that seems to really be working. Obviously the weight loss has really helped. And just in a happier mood is what Kai and my wife say. So So those are the main benefits for me, and I actually feel fuller.
Oh yeah.
And I don't feel like I have to eat as much, which is most people think, okay, you're eating just salad and carrots or whatever, and you're going to want to eat all the time. But if I get the right foods in me, I can go 3-4 hours without eating. So that's been very helpful.
Yeah, isn't it amazing that we do actually feel a lot fuller when we're eating the plant foods? Something that I noticed as well right away, and I knew that I was like filling up because it has more fiber, it has more nutrients, so it's more filling than nutrient foods that are not nutrient dense, like empty calorie kind of food, right? And that's what I was eating prior. So I agree with you. Tammy, what about for you? Anything else that you noticed in your personal kind of health journey in your body or your mind, your mental state? You've talked about anxiety. Did that lessen for you? And when did you notice that?
Yeah, it was once we discovered what the minerals were that I was lacking, and the vitamins that I was lacking, the anxiety, there were food triggers, bad coffee, bad bean coffee. I realized MSG, and I realized like a drive-through coffee, there's so much pesticide that I was super sensitive, and that was a trigger. So I sort of discovered through taking myself off of those things, and then when I went to go have it, instantly it triggered in the beginning of my journey, like the anxiety to come back. And it's like fast heartbeat, that anxiety of doom and just not positive. And I'm like a joy-filled, like my nickname is Tigger. I have so much energy and it's just so amazing. And that was just off. So once I figured out the trigger, I took those things out, and it was probably a year, maybe 2 years that I went without those kind of pesticide-ridden coffee beans and things that I just knew weren't so good for my body. I had to really clean my whole system. So people have to understand that it isn't an overnight fix, and to just give your body time to heal and honor the process. It took me years to get myself to that place. So I was ready and willing to take the time that it was going to take to get my body back on track. And it was 5 solid months, I would say, where I was like, okay, that anxiety didn't come back. And if it ever did, for me, it was like B vitamins were my thing that I was lacking for whatever reason. So I would just up those and be fine again. And I think, like Derek, the biggest thing, that weight loss is just a byproduct for me. For me, it's my vitamins and my minerals and my phytonutrients. All those are so important to me because I feel different when I'm not getting them. Yeah. And so that's in a whole food plant-based diet, all of that. And the big thing for me was getting off of the drug. That was, it was helping with the heartburn, but it was depleting my bone mass. So after I discovered what was causing that, meat, dairy, a very sick tummy gut, because our gut is our second brain. After I realized how that all worked, it was easy to learn how to cook like this. The energy that I have is amazing. I've always been happy, joy, wonderful. But what I noticed is Derek's energy, we're like a high energy couple. We raised 3 boys, man, 3 athletes. So 20 years, we just ran strong, and you wouldn't know it. He just turned 52. I just turned 50. And it's like we're the new 30. So everybody watching, you're only as old as you feel, really, you guys, because he's literally reversing his bone age. He's taken a couple tests at the gym, and he literally has reversed from like a age, 53, 56?
54 to 51.
So the test, he was, when we started in November, it was 54. and he just did it now, 4.5 months, and his bones are aged at 51. So he's actually younger than what he is physically. So that tells you guys that this kind of lifestyle, you really can reverse the aging process, if you will.
Yeah.
If you learn about it more, and I know my skin is just amazing, glowing. My energy's good. When you have your weight at a good, healthy weight for you, because just because those pyramids say whatever they say, or the guides say whatever they say, I go by my clothes, how I feel,
how it feels.
how
Absolutely.
That's everything. And we got to go by the seasons too. We have to remember that this is all in God's world. So he makes seasons for a reason. So when fall comes, we eat a lot more savory soups, and a lot of your recipes, like what you're doing right now, tofu scramble, is so good for right now. But we're going to transition very quickly into amazing salads and fruit salads and lighter things because of the season. So just honor the food that's growing from the earth in the cycle that it's growing, which
in the natural cycle.
It automatically takes you to a whole food plant-based diet, really.
Love that. Thank you for saying that, because it's full circle, right? It gets us, if we can follow the seasons, we'll end up actually eating more plant foods, and we'll end up actually eating a whole food plant-based diet. I really love that. Yeah. I want to just say, here's a comment from Cheryl Baker. You guys mentioned that it will take as long as it takes. She says, yeah, she said for her, it took, I used to say it takes about 5 months to see a difference, but it will depend on every person. She thinks that so many times we think about giving up if it's not working at the pace that we want it to work. So Cheryl, I want to thank you for mentioning that, because it's so true. It's going to just take the time that it takes. For Derek, it's a different timeline. From Tammy, it's a different timeline. For me, and so on and so forth. So be patient with it. Let the food kind of heal and rejuvenate your body and in any way that it will. And some people won't see, like I love that you say weight loss is a byproduct. Some people won't experience weight loss ever, or maybe if they do, it's not going to come for months. Some people, though, will automatically experience a great improvement of their sleep or their sex drive or whatever, their digestion. It doesn't matter. Even their vascular health or their emotional well-being. Lots of different things can actually change from this. So I just want to thank you guys for sharing that bit, because I think it's really vulnerable to kind of share what's happened. How has your body morphed and changed? And I want to stop right now and just show you this coconut bacon. Here's what we're working with, you guys. Looks delicious, right? It's just like crunchy, crispy, golden brown, delicious bacon. I'm just going to try it. It's so good. Okay, I'm going to just add a little bit of this to my tofu scramble, which you can see is all nice and cooked up. Add your bacon to the scramble, as well as save a little bit for the top. But mix this around, and I'm telling you, you're going to love the combination of this like crunchy, bacony, smoky, delicious crunch in your tofu scramble. And it looks just like bits of bacon or ham, right? So yummy. All right, I'm going to plate this up. And we only have a few seconds here, but I just want to ask, what's your favorite part about being plant-based? Will you both answer? We'd love to hear that.
Yeah, I think for me, in this journey of our age, and we've been married 25 years, is that we're doing it together. Team Scott, just to reboot our system, we do fasting Fridays, where we eat vegan, plant-based, but soft soups, soft juices, waters, and we just kind of amazing home treatments, and the doing it together has changed everything for us.
Yes, I love that.
When you go out, you look at each other for what do you want to eat? What do you want to choose? And you're more apt to stay on track when you're doing it together as a family.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. That's great encouragement. What about for you, Derek?
Yeah, definitely together, because she's been eating pretty healthy for a long time since we met.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't really on board, and it's hard because I don't cook. Literally, if it can't be something I can make in a Vitamix or microwave,
food processor.
I don't cook at all.
Yeah.
So she would be making something for her, something for me,
something for the kids.
Yeah. So a lot of times she would make what I would call back then too healthy, and I just didn't like it. But my taste buds I should have mentioned that earlier, kind of changed this year since I've been doing it full time.
Yeah.
And so some of these foods that she made before that I didn't like, I actually like now. So I'm you know, I still don't like dragon fruit.
Yeah.
But you know, so that's the key, is just trying it and just finding out what you like. But your taste buds, you know, could change too. And so just doing it together, so we're both on the same wavelength, is always great. And so that's probably been the best thing. And for me, the best thing is the weight loss, because I just, you know, I don't want to adjust my gun belt bigger. I wanted to make it smaller. So that's been the best for me. And we just knew we were going to do it long term. We're not calling it a diet. We're not doing it for 90 days like I've done all my other programs. I'm like trying to do this long term, so I don't get on myself as much. I'm not as hard on myself if I don't see like if I gain 2 pounds, I'm like not mad.
Good.
You know, long term. So
fantastic. No, you guys, your story is very inspiring. Thank you so much. And you guys, here's what we made. I made this for you, Derek, especially for you. This is your coconut bacon tofu scramble. This looks really delicious.
Beautiful.
I don't know about you, but I would definitely have that for breakfast, even lunch or dinner. And before we wrap up, I have to give this a taste because, well, that's just what I have to do. So I'm just going to do that now. And before I do, I'm going to give this food a little gratitude. Thank you, food. Thank you, God. All right.
Thank you. And I love how you give gratitude. It is so important. Our temple is so important.
It so is. Thank you for saying that. Okay, Tammy, I appreciate you for saying that, because it is so important. And if we give gratitude to our food, it will love us right back. Yeah. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I want to get this off the screen. Thank you. Thank you for your support, you guys. If you guys want to connect with Tammy and Derek, they are a part of our Plant-Based Made Easy Facebook group, so you can join that for free. You guys, it's over 5,000 people and growing from all over the world. Folks from all over every single part of the world that want to go plant-based or already have. So use them as a resource as well as me, you guys, and use these cookbooks as a resource as well. Go ahead and purchase them if you haven't done so already. The link is the first comment here in the comment box for this episode. Thank you again, Tammy and Derek. And I want to wish everyone a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.